Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I'm going to be doing a ranking my palettes I tried in January. I was gonna do like every 10 palettes or so, but I figured, hey, like if I only tried a couple palettes in a certain month, then why not go ahead and just rank them and go from there. So I do have 6 palettes to rank for you guys. If you love ranking videos, definitely continue watching. Also, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. I do upload 3 times a week, Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. So definitely subscribe so you don't miss out. And let's just go ahead and jump right in. So again, I do have 6 palettes to share with you guys, and I had a lot of good palettes in the month of January. A lot of these palettes I got in December and I tried them in January, so I'm a little late to the game on some of these palettes, but I wanted to go ahead and share these palettes with you guys and let you guys know what I think of them. So on the number 6 spot, I am ranking the Nomad palette. This is the Intense Eyeshadow palette, a Tuscany palette, and this is just the packaging. I got this in my Ipsy box. And here is what the color story looks like. I do actually really like this palette. Well, I like the pigmentation. I like the matte shades in here. My issue with this palette is that it has a lot of satin shades in here, and it also doesn't have a really dark like chocolate brown. You don't really have a really deep color in here to deepen your eye look. I like to apply a shade like in my crease, another one to like my lid, and then I just like by the lash line just something dark to deepen the look a little bit. I felt like it was lacking a deep shade in this palette. I really like the formula and the pigmentation of Nomad. This is the first time I've ever tried their formula, and I really enjoyed the palette, but I just feel like the color story in here I have in a ton of other palettes in my collection, and it was missing that deep shade in here as well. And I wish that some of these shades were more on the matte side than the satin side, or like more shimmery shades. So this palette is nice, I do like it, but I'm just missing some of it. I only really have like this light pink shade shimmer to apply on the lids, and I thought it was really pretty, but everything else in here, like these shades, these two for sure, I wouldn't really apply them to my lids. I did apply this in the crease as well. I just feel like I'm missing something in this palette, and again, it's just a shade to deepen the look. I really like the pigmentation on this palette, so I definitely am interested to try a palette and a color story that I would like from Nomad. I'm really interested in trying more from their brand. I'm definitely happy I got this palette in my Ipsy box to be able to try a new brand out, and I really again want to purchase in the future. And I do like this palette, I just am not super happy with the color story. Number 5, I'm gonna give it to Beauty Bay. This is the Book of Magic palette. I like the color story, which is the reason why I picked it up. I think it's super pretty. The shimmer shades in here aren't as intense as I thought they would be. The matte shades in here, they're more on the drier side. So I could have probably put this on number 6 just because the mattes aren't as good as the mattes in the Nomad palette, but I do like the color stories, which is why I ranked it up a little higher than here. I do have those deep shades that I'm looking for. This one's a good deepening shade. It has a dark purple, it has a black, it has a dark blue. Like, it has the deepening shades that I'm looking for, that I wish the Nomad palette had to deepen my look. But some of the mattes in here are dry, especially like this brown. I did find that the purples were a little dry as well. The shimmers are nice, but they're not amazing like I thought they would be. They're okay, they're not too bad. I don't know, maybe I'm kind of thinking this Book of Magic should have been in the bottom. But again, I do like the color story, and the shimmer shades aren't too bad if you're wanting something super metallic-y. This probably isn't it. And you know what, now that I'm thinking, I really wanted the Nikkie Tutorials palette, and a lot of people were saying that they were expecting more from the shimmers, and I'm wondering if the shimmers are the same as this palette, because if it is, then I think I would kind of be bummed about the Nikkie Tutorials palette as well, because the shimmers in here look really nice, but once you swatch them, they're not as metallic-y as they look in the pan. I like the color story, the formula's okay. I don't know. I guess Nomad and Book of Magic kind of are on par with each other. In the number 4 spot, I do like the formula in this palette. It's just the color story. It's just kind of like an everyday color story type of palette. This is a Supreme Nudes by Artist Couture. I'm one to more wear like this kind of look for everyday use. I like purples and like burgundy shades for everyday use, and this is more of an everyday kind of use palette. I do really like the pigmentation on this. The shimmers are actually really nice in here as well. This color story doesn't excite me, so I figured let's just go ahead and not put it all the way on the bottom, but it's not going to be my top pick compared to the last 3 palettes I have in this ranking. I do like the pigmentation. I would recommend, if you're eyeing it, if you like this color story, that you just wear these tones every single day. If this is just your color story, I would recommend it. For me, I wouldn't put this in my number 1 spot again because it's nice, but it's not like, oh my god, I love this color story, like I love it. No, but I do really like the pigmentation. I'm happy I have this in my collection. I got this for Christmas, so I'm happy I have this in my collection, and I do like it again, but it's not my top pick from the other 3 I have here. In the number 3rd spot, I have the Too Faced Pumpkin Spice palette. Oh my gosh, this palette is super nice and pigmented, very colorful. A little bit goes a long way. I'm super impressed with the matte shades in here. They're very, very nice. Even the shimmer shades I have tried in this palette have been nice as well. I really like the color story in here. Again, these are like my kind of shades I reach for. They're really, really nice, and I do enjoy it. This shade does feel a little chunkier, the Oh My Gourd shade, this one right there, but I really like the formula. The pigmentation's awesome, and I do enjoy it. So this was kind of between 2 and 3, but my number 2 I just really enjoy more than this one. I actually really like my top 3 like a lot, and I wouldn't declutter them anytime soon. I really like the formula on this. I'm super late to the game on this palette. This came out last year sometime, obviously. Probably before Thanksgiving even. I am not sure when it came out, but I just barely tried it in January. This was limited edition, so I don't think you can pick it up anymore. Maybe through Poshmark or something you can, but I don't think it's available like at Ulta or Sephora. Maybe on the Too Faced website, you can check there. So my number 2 spot is going to my Huda Beauty Naughty palette, or Naughty Nude palette. Oh my gosh, this is so nice. This is my color story. This is like my everyday kind of shades. This is what I reach for. I love the burnt oranges. I love the burgundy shades. Like, again, this is my color story. This was made for me. And I love the shimmers in here as well. They're so nice and super shimmery and very beautiful. I really enjoyed this palette here. Definitely could have been my number 1. To be honest, but again, I really like my number 1 a little bit more just because of the color story. It's more unique, and this is just a really great palette. I also got this for Christmas. I'm just really happy I was able to try this out initially. I wasn't really into picking it up, and now again that I got it for Christmas and I'm able to try it out, I really like it. And I do really enjoy this palette a lot, so that is why it is number 2. And then my number 1 palette is going to my Made by Mitchell palette. This is the Feet on the Ground palette. This formula is really, really good, and also I picked it as my number 1 because of the color story. I don't really have a lot of these tones in my collection. The grungy green shades in here, the olive shades, they're just super pretty, and I didn't really have any issues with this formula either. I think it's a really nice palette. I feel like the background on this kind of clashes with the shades in here, but honestly, when I got this and I saw it in person, I was like, wow, this is such a beautiful color story. It's very unique, nothing really that what I have, and the look that I created with this that I posted on my Instagram, I really loved as well. So I really like it again, and this is my number 1 palette. Have you guys tried this palette, this brand? What do you guys think of Made by Mitchell? This was definitely fighting for the number 1 spot with Naughty Nude, but I knew I wanted to kind of put this on the number 1 spot because I just love the color story and it's super, super unique. So those are all the palettes I tried in January. Have you tried any of the palettes I just mentioned? These are definitely not recent new palettes, but these are the palettes I tried in January, and I wanted to rank them for you guys and let you guys know what I thought of them. So let me know if you've tried any of the palettes. What do you think of them? Would you rank them the same as me or not? Let me know down in the comment section below. Again, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!